Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex Day trade setups for today. So we've had some pretty key breakthroughs on Euro USD, but the trend for me is still down, and we're actually looking for opportunities to sell into this. So the two levels that we're looking at the moment are pretty much 110,600 or 110,616 and 111,080. So those are the two areas that we're looking. Those are the previous two swing lows. Neither of them, I suppose, the bottom one hasn't been tested, but 111,082 has been tested. Was tested last week. So if we just drill down to the levels we want to be trading, the noise is all out of the way. So there has been an interest rate hike in the US, as the Fed said there would be. And then there's also peace talks on the go at the moment, which is sounding positive, but the war rages on still. So yeah, I think at the moment you can see we were sort of hovering around here, rejected some of the levels and then bounced to the upside. So two key things on the hour. First one is we have a crossover of the moving averages, which indicates that we should be potentially looking for a pullback to buy into, and that still holds water, should I say, but I think the pullback is going to be something down to 109,781. If we get a pullback down there and we start holding that, then there is potential for a reversal. The other one is going to be a break and retest all the way up here at 111,082. So yeah, I think at the moment nothing really clear. Oscillators are also indicating that we shouldn't be looking for longs here. Inside bar. So a break below this tail here at 110,074, you're looking for a continuation, pretty much at least to come test this level, test this trend line here, and we start breaking below this area here. That would indicate continuation to the downside, but the bigger trend is down, so could be a potential trend reversal brewing. But I think personally I'd just wait a little bit longer before getting that confirmation. So US dollar, Japanese yen, target was hit. I know yesterday I said I'm taking target up here, taking profit up here, but eventually we sort of just ground our way up and eventually hit the target. So at the moment I think pullbacks are to be bought. The closest pullback you're going to have is this bit of structure here. So pullbacks back onto 118,428 are definitely opportunities to buy into this. Just be a little bit concerned. We've had two rejections at this level of 118,927 at the moment. So treat it with a little bit of caution, but I think that's pretty much the moral of today's story. I just want to check the 15-minute because this gap when the news came out technically is still open. For me, tails don't close the gap, so that's where that bar closed. So it came back to test it, but it hasn't really closed the gap. Still open this morning as well, so could hold itself here. Could hold at 118,598. Let's see what happens in the European Open, but I'd prefer a pullback into 118,428 before looking to buy and buy into this for a continuation to the upside. Trend is fairly strong at the moment on the hour and as well as on the 8-hour. Only problem on the 8-hour, look at the oscillators, look how far we are from the moving averages. So ideally on the 8-hour you'd be looking for a pullback all the way down here to close the gap of this weekly bar. Anyway, this is a bit of caution. So what if you're going to trade this one? Be very, very careful, be cognizant of what's happening on the 8-hour. And you start getting pullbacks into here, keep your stops really tight because it could pull back all the way back down here as well to 117,097. So keep that in the back of your mind. Euro Japanese, sorry, not Euro Japanese, British pound Japanese yen. So we have got up to an area of resistance, which is, if you look to the left, quite right over there. Been a pretty strong, solid, aggressive move. So that's 2 weeks in a row almost now where we've had two big green bars. This area here is very interesting. So that is 155,156. Pull back onto that gets me long. We're still sort of above and below the moving averages, so there's no real structure on the 8-hour. On the hour, there definitely is structure. We are in an upward trend. Oscillator as a group to the upside does look like a bit of a flag forming here, but for me, pullbacks are to be bought. Now, I don't know if you're going to get a pullback in the zone that we're in now, and there's nothing really until down here, which basically raids most of yesterday's gains. So that's 154,647 where the nearest pullback is. So if we do get down there by some miracle, then definitely looking for an opportunity to buy. Otherwise, what you want to be doing is paying attention to the 15-minute and do this during the open, because that could be seen as a flag, or it could be seen as a flat bottom triangle. Looking at the oscillators, that is looking like a flag. So what you're looking for is a break and retest of 156,200. So break up, come back, retest, hold it, give you an opportunity to get in long around there with a stop here. So you've got to call it a 300-point stop loss, and then you have potential for the previous move. And I'm just going to be a little bit conservative. That's the previous move. You could take it from all the way from the bottom. But as far as I'm concerned, up, down, up, down, up, down, and this has been up, and this is the down portion. So let's take it from the lowest one, and that should get you a measured move somewhere into 157.294. And if you just have a look on the higher time frames, you'll see that it lines up quite nicely with these previous highs here. So yeah, pullbacks to be bought, but not as we are quite far from the moving averages on the 8-hour, and you'd expect a deeper pullback soon. But at the moment, the hour does look pretty structured, except for this distance from the moving averages at the moment. So yeah, that's kind of the play there. And then lastly, Euro British Pound, kind of nowhere at the moment, and this is typical, as I said yesterday. Whenever we get above the 155 EMA, it starts doing this kind of stuff, and then normally what it does is it breaks below the 155. And we've been waiting for it to break to the upside pretty much most of last year, and it hasn't. So for me at the moment, we've got a crossover. We're above the 155 EMA, but we are sideways. So this is sit on hands territory for me. And you can see nice big move down yesterday. A bit noisy when the noise came out. We're stuck in amongst moving averages. We are above the 155, but these two levels are still in play. So this one here to the downside, 0.83810, break, retest that, then we continue to the downside, and then 0.84054, a break above that, retest, then we're looking for moves to the upside. So that one's quite simple. Sit on hands until this sideways chaos stops. I suspect we're more than likely going to drop again. I'll be surprised if we actually manage to hold the 155 on the hour and on the 8-hour at the moment. Okay, anyway, that's kind of my view this morning. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.